Okay, so I'm gonna go over a few of the basics, the way that I draw for characters for my comics. I'm currently working on a project. It's been going on for quite some time now. This is my superhero team. I actually have several stories. Sci-fi is really my strongest suit, but I do the comic book thing. This is my little superhero team right here. And I just started a Patreon just now. Anyways, my superhero team is called the Dignifiers. This is my Patreon page. I'm still setting it up. This is deviantart.com. You can see other Afrofuturistic artwork that I do on deviantart.com. Just ask 73. That's me. So, I'm going to go over just a few basics of how I do this. So, when I start off with characters, I like to make them like really tough and cool, right? And I usually start off with the eyes. I'm shooting this from my phone, by the way, so it's going to be awesome footage. Anyways, I start off with the eyes, like the eyebrow right here. Pull a little pupil in. The other eye, pull a little pupil in. I really like using pencil, but I'm using pen just so it can show it better. Because I'm shooting this from my phone, so the clarity is going to come in and out. As I shoot more videos, I probably upgrade to like better equipment, but for now I'm just doing this. So I use really exaggerated, as you can see, it's really exaggerated type of work. Finished work obviously takes a lot longer, just to make sure that things look right. It's still exaggerated, but there's a difference between finished work and I usually work really fast just because actually the way that I'm drawing right now is way slower than I actually draw. I usually just drill it right on out. This is just so you can have a good idea of the way I work here. So I just draw something out like this, you know. Now traditionally, you know, if you want to go old school, you know, you can do that sort of thing. You'll get a lot closer to something that's more, I won't say realistic, but a little bit more correct as far as anatomy, because the eyes are actually smaller on the head, right? The ears on the side of the head, right? Gives you a little bit more scale, a little bit more proportion. I don't need no stinking proportion. But, yeah. I hope you can hear this on my phone. The translation from audio isn't always that great, so I hope you can hear it. But you can see what I'm doing. So, if I really want to take my time out and do it, I'll use the scale, but otherwise, I just drill out something like this. Now, really what also helps to get different shapes, you know, for instance, somebody might have this shape, like a pyramid for the head, or a square, or a cylinder, right? And you look at shapes like that, and you can just kind of morph them by making them more rounded, right? And you can indicate where the features are with shadows. That actually gives, it's a more cartoony way of doing things, but it makes the characters different, so everybody won't look the same. They'll actually have different features because you're starting off with these really basic shapes right here. And when I take out time to do this, when I have like a team, because my team, this particular team that I have, has I think like 10 characters in it. So, some people may look have bigger heads, smaller heads, longer heads. And the way that the whole shtick for the team is that it's an African Diaspora team, meaning some of the characters are from the Caribbean, some of the characters are from North America, South America, Africa. So you have these different characters from different places, and they look different. And if I really want to use some references, like when I actually do the book itself, I'll just Google references, people from those places. But just as far as establishing characters, that gives you an idea of how you can make different characters right there, right? Same thing for the body. So you have different types of body shapes as well. You have like the mesomorphic body shape, you have the endomorphic body shape, and you have the exomorphic. I think that's it, exomorphic body shape. So basically, the mesomorphic is like the athletic type of body, right? So that's the defined. I'm doing this really fast and really small. I'm going to try and keep this video as short as possible, see if I can keep it under 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, this is actually about my third time doing this. I'm learning as I go. And it shuts off, for some reason it shuts off after 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep this quick. This gives you a basic idea of, let's say, a mesomorphic, right? Typical superhero type thing. Define muscles and whatnot. Now the endomorphic is more of a slow dude, right? So not as defined and obviously bigger, right? So bigger muscles but not as defined. So it's more of your wrestler types, right? Your heavies on the team, right? You can exaggerate different body parts. Right? Endomorphic, mesomorphic, and then the exomorphic, the more of the skinnier type, right? They can be really defined because they're skinnier. Like their muscles are going to be smaller, more lean, more hungry looking. Okay. And these are three basic body types to differentiate characters. You don't want everybody looking the same, right? Some of my favorite comic book artists do an excellent job because their style is just so good. But all the characters, so basically, right? You have the ectomorphic. This would be like Spider-Man type characters. And then mesomorphic, that would be more like Captain America type characters. Then you have the endomorphic, which would be Hulk. And so then when you look at the head shapes, like if somebody's thinner, that would be more like the exomorphic type, the triangle, and the mesomorphic type, square, the endomorphic type. This helps you out to add character to your character. Okay? That's how you do that. Now you can do the same thing with women. So when I do women, I usually use a lighter touch. I'm using a pencil, so I don't really understand, but when I use a pencil, I usually use a lighter touch. I like starting out with the eyes. Or the cat eyes for the women. start off small, so I'll do the hand. Everybody in the eye. A little bit more of the eyelids here. Similar like makeup. I find getting the technological thing. I pull this into focus. Use a little bit more shadow, so the edges going in a bit softer. At least I'm ready. Unless she's like a cyborg and I'm doing this place in there. It's hard to do. If I want to get her hair, few lines here and there. Put something at the side. Right. But it's the same thing. You still use the same images. Different heads. But usually from ovals, right? Circles. Those look all over together. And for the women, as far as the body shapes are concerned. So the mesomorph guy, right? Think about like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, in his prime, this guy he was like about 6'3", 6'3", 230 pounds. Right? That's what I use for scale. So then, say a regular guy would be average height of what, 5'10", 170 lighter weight. Then the heavier guy would be something like Shaq. He's like what, 73. Okay, so those are the references that I use. And then you can scale them up or scale them down. Right? Now for women, I think more of model shapes, right? So, let's say on women, and I think a little bit more about age as well. So for women, I'm doing this really kind of quick. So I can get my time together and good. So it doesn't cut off on me. This is working. Anyways, you get the point. So this would be somebody who's a little bit more on the petite side, right? And then you have like the a little bit more on the bodacious side. Right? Again, this is obviously a quick reference, like sketching type of thing. Doing finished work, this would obviously be done in pencil, and there would be a lot of reworking. Okay, and then oh, okay, and so then can get a little bit more on the voluptuous side. Okay. 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 So this would be more of the exo, the meso, and the endo. Right? So for the guys, where I have pounds, right? For the women, it's the sizes. Same like for fashion, right? In fashion models. You have the breasts, the waist, and the hips, right? So we start off with like the meso part. So let's say that it's a woman who's really in shape, right? So, but she'll have like model type measurements. So it'll be like 36, 24, 36, right? That's like your classic Playboy model, right? Uh, so if you look at cup size, that would be like a D, maybe a double D, right? Um, it would go down to like say a B or an A cup. So this is where age comes in. This would be younger, right? 20 years old or younger. This would be mid 20s to 30s, right? This is comic book logic I'm doing here, at least in my comic books. And this might be older, right? Mid 30s and above, right? And so you'll have a little bit more weight going down further. A little bit more weight in the hips. And so you can go double D or higher there in the breasts, right? So you can scale down. Right? So this is a basic idea of how that works. And then of course for women you have different hairstyles. You can do straight hair. You can do braids, right? Ponytails, right? Afro puffs. Love the Afro puffs. So when you look at age, Afro puffs would look something you would expect on, say, somebody younger. Right? She'll have the Afro puffs. Right? Somebody with just short hair, right? Just a stylish short hair type of thing. Have on somebody older perhaps. And then you can have like the braids for right. And for the men, like in all the groups that I have like a lot of groups. But like the Afro, I always had to have an Afro character, somebody with an Afro. The traditional fade, which almost every black character ever made, always seems to wear the fade or be bald. It's usually that, where you can just have like the Caesar. The Caesar is like just a basic cut, depending on what part of the country you're from, right? So you can give like the Afro to the Meza, right? If you want it, they're interchangeable, but you know, the Indo is evolved, you know. Oh, and let's not forget the dreads, right? You can just have a guy with dreads. And you can actually have different facial hairs. Some guys can have like the goatee type of thing. Right. Let's go back in and add eyebrows. With sideburns. Burns. That adds character. So these different types of facial hair, different body types. Oh, and like for instance, the packs. Like, you know, you could do like a 6-pack for the mesomorphic, 4-pack for the endo. You can actually go 8-pack because he's thinner, right? More cut for like the abs. And it's little things like this that give makes your characters look different, right? Actually different. So everybody doesn't look the same. It's more visually interesting. And I always work this out beforehand, right? And so then when I want to go in and make different characters, you know, everybody looks different. Okay? So that's all I got for now. And if you like this, make sure that you press the like button, tell all your friends, share it, and I will do more. See ya.